Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Schumer is finally finished. But there's only one final piece of this puzzle left to fall into place. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what that looks like. Now, first, let's talk about where we are currently, right now. So you see, as the world celebrates President Trump bringing us all that much closer to peace, once again, Senator Chuck Schumer shamefully calls for violence and says people should be forcefully rising up. He knows what he's doing. He's trying to start riots. But shaming or censoring him isn't enough. The left, Democrats, they just hate President Trump. Everything they do is anti-President Trump. I mean, just look at this. Democrats are physically incapable of typing, "Thank you, President Trump," as the left takes to social media to celebrate successful negotiations and Trump bringing us all one step closer to peace, but all while doing so and making sure to omit President Trump's name and him being critical with his involvement since being inaugurated for the second time and taking charge from inside and out of the Oval Office.
There are some who are declining to celebrate this ceasefire. And it's interesting, some of the same people who have been asking for a ceasefire for well over 2 years, saying that Israel needs to draw back, Israel needs to stop. I don't know. Have we heard from Ilhan Omar? Have we heard from, I
checked AOC's Twitter
and
nothing.
Nothing.
So many of the squad, nothing. And that tells you everything, the hypocrisy that exists, that they can't bring themselves to say, hey, this was a good job. Our president did a good job.
What does it tell you? Why can't they do that?
Well, they just hate President Trump. Everything they do is anti-President Trump, and that's their whole platform right now. Their answer to losing the election has been to move further left and to push back against everything that this administration does, even if it's to the benefit of not only the American people, but now, people that are at war.
I don't know if they really cared about what's happening in the Middle East because there are Christians being, murdered in Africa. They're not talking about that, right? So I think a big part of it is they want to have something righteous that they can come around together and make themselves feel virtuous about. They feel like they're fighting for a cause. The best way to put this would be they're saying, hey, we're going to appear virtuous to everybody out there. And in that virtue and the fact that we're showing virtue, this is going to make us feel like we're fighting for something. And I think that's what they're doing. It's not really about those people. It's really about themselves, but they're not going to say that.
What you're seeing with Trump, regardless of his flaws, is a massive, concentrated psyop. They've distorted who he is to the point where most people think that way. They've had narratives.
What is a psyop? I keep hearing that.
Psychological operation.
Whoa.
Where they've decided to distort people's perceptions of things.
Yeah, when you tell like an older liberal that like the Obama deportations were higher than the Trump deportations, they go, no, what? No. And you go, no, let me just Google deportations Obama versus Trump, and you go, it's lower. They go, wait, what? Like, here's 19 straight articles saying that I'm right. And they go, that doesn't make sense. And you go, right. Focus on what's giving you the reality of the world.
Check this out. Jamie, go to that Hillary Clinton thing that I texted you today.
JMO.
This one is wild. This is Hillary Clinton in like 2008. And Hillary Clinton saying some wild MAGA type shit about.
Oh, she used to say the wildest shit.
Wildest shit about illegal immigrants.
Wasn't she?
Hold on. Go.
What?
Go back from the beginning. Do it from the beginning. That's the beginning. It's okay. Do it from the beginning. But want to hear it.
I think we got to have tough conditions. Tell people to come out of the shadows. If they've committed a crime, deport them. No questions asked. They're gone. If they...
She's a Republican.
If they've been working and are law-abiding, we should say, here are the conditions for you staying. You have to pay a stiff fine because you came here illegally. You have to pay back taxes. And you have to try to learn English.
Oh,
you have to wait in line.
Anyone
You
else
have to wait in line. You have to wait in line. And everybody's cheering.
So,
2008. Hillary Clinton was more MAGA than Trump.
She's always been a Republican.
But how about that?
Wow.
More MAGA than Trump.
And then
it's
you
all
couldn't believe that if you watched the news.
illusion. It's all a fucking illusion.
What a disgraceful bunch. That's their whole platform right now. And for just a brief moment, if you would, please subscribe to my channel. It certainly helps out a lot. But I only ask that you hit that subscribe button if you truly enjoy this video and if you want to see more of these types of videos that counter and outweigh the sheer volume and mass production that comes from those who fall into the category of disgraceful bunch. I know all of you are great, loving, America first people, even some tuning in from other countries abroad, but we share similar interests and values. So thank you for your subscription. And more great news, ladies and gentlemen. President Trump and Middle Eastern leaders have officially signed the Gaza peace deal. Securing 47's place in history books as the peace president. But you know one thing about the Democrats? They love to hate. And there's no one they love to hate more than President Trump. And in essence, the Democrats love to hate peace.
This took 3,000 years to get to this point. Can you believe it? And it's going to hold up, too. It's going to hold up. Okay, thank you. You can use my pen if you want. Have a pen? Want to use mine? Okay.
Now, I want you to watch and listen.
I mean, what was unusual for me was obviously a lot of what I represented.
Yeah.
A lot of what Michelle and I had tried to project, the values, our thinking about America.
Uh-huh.
You know, my successor seemed to represent the opposite.
Right.
Not seemed, did.
Yeah.
And so I think there was a lot of anger, a lot of sadness, some fear among a big chunk of the country.
Now, I know I can't be the only one who can see just how bad Obama gets really frustrated right now that Donald Trump completely obliterated his work as president. And Obama now has to watch the world realize what a real president can accomplish from his basement. But I apologize in advance because, you see, I would rather not include too many leftist Trump haters in my videos because I know how much you all hate it. But I feel as though this clip of Charlemagne on the Breakfast Club podcast is a must-see. And so here goes. But it's short, so that's a plus. Watch.
Donald Trump shows me what's politically possible. Trump shows me what presidents can do if they want to do it. Donald Trump shows me what can be said if you are willing to say it. It's not about what can't be done. It's about who has the political will to do it. I don't want to hear a peep from Democrats about nothing until they get the balls to say what's really on their mind in regards to this country and this world. Trump doesn't care if it sounds ridiculous. Trump doesn't care if it makes sense. It's no political correctness whatsoever. As I've been saying for years, the language of politics is dead, and Donald Trump killed it. Period.
Everyone on the planet is realizing just how pathetic Obama and Biden were.
This achievement, and it is a significant achievement, would not have happened without United States leadership. President Trump deserves a lot of credit for bringing the parties together.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear that? Former United States Secretary of War, who once served under Obama and was a director of Central Intelligence, Leon Panetta drops a massive truth bomb on his old boss over the Gaza peace deal. He says this achievement, and it is a significant achievement, would not have happened without United States leadership. President Trump deserves a lot of credit for bringing the parties together.
So for years now, hideous left-wing orcs with bullhorns have been taking over college campuses, marching and rioting in our streets, saying they want peace in the Middle East and to free Palestine. And President Trump has now freed Palestine. So where are these protesters? In their filthy kiffas, holding up signs of President Trump saying this is our dear leader. Where the hell are you? Where'd you go? Exactly. Did your bullhorns run out of batteries? Where are you like camping out to thank President Trump when he lands back at the airport for ending the war? Isn't that the point? This is what you wanted, right? You wanted the end of the war. You wanted you want Gaza to go back to the Palestinian people? Well, Trump just delivered that. And he did it with the backing of Israel and all the Arab nations together. And the people in Gaza are celebrating. Well, so where the hell are you? You stuck in your little tent in Colombia? Did your balls fall off? Probably, actually, as a prerequisite to being part of these protests. But, like, nonetheless, like, I mean, be intellectually consistent for once in your miserable lives. Can you just, like, give the guy a W? Didn't he just give you what you want? You've been frothing at the mouth, behaving like domestic terrorists for the last couple of years in our country because of this conflict. And Trump just delivered to you, I think, generally everything you want. And now, cat's got your tongue, right? Nothing. It's nothing. You can't say nothing. Can't say nothing. They're such frauds, man. They're such frauds. Don't believe these people. Don't listen to these people. President Trump's the president of peace. He deserves to be celebrated. The people who are honest, even like, can you believe this? Hillary Clinton is out praising Trump today. Man, what a world. The president of peace.
All the Free Palestine voices are eerily quiet. But that's to be expected, right? All the Free Palestine warriors, the campus screamers, the street rioters, where are they now? President Trump just did what they've been screaming for years. He delivered peace. He freed the Palestinians. He changed the Middle East. They should be marching in the streets, chanting, "My president," holding giant signs, thanking him for delivering exactly what they claim to want. Instead, silence. Pathetic frauds. So for 2 years, pro-Palestine individuals were terrorizing colleges, assaulting people that didn't agree with them because they wanted a ceasefire? Well, that's happened now, thanks to President Trump. But where's all the celebration? I mean, we all know that the chanting, the marching, the rioting, the burning of flags, the violence was never about actually bringing peace to the region, but instead, Antifa losers looking to collect a paycheck signed by George Soros in exchange for their loyalty to support whatever cause is against peace and this so-called democracy the Democrats keep getting on about. But the left just keeps on. Jasmine Crockett confesses to the world just how unintelligent she is and shares her thoughts with this post to X that says, "Raising hell at home and then pretending to be the president of peace is diabolical." And one of the homosexuals, allegedly, from over at the Midas Touch Circle Jerk sorority said, Joe Biden had a peace deal in place, but then Netanyahu and Trump met in Mar-a-Lago and decided that keeping the war going would benefit them both. 10 months later, they're signing the exact deal Biden brokered. But it's just so funny to me. Because in their eyes, President Trump has done nothing and isn't deserving of anything but further criticism and more slander and defamatory rhetoric hurled his way from a party that is without a clear leader, doesn't have a true mission or policy to stand firmly on, and thinks someone like Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom would be much better suited to run this country. Take a look at this. And the caption for this photo says, "Thank God California banned plastic straws." Clearly, the Democrats' priorities have gone so far awry that there truly is very little hope for them ever finding their way back. While President Trump continues to kick ass and take names, deliver on campaign promises, and make good on a unanimously won mandate to make America great again. Chuck Schumer and the Democrats continue to inflict more harm and pain on Americans with every chance they get and every breath they take. However, much like every other plot the Democrats attempt to hatch, their plan backfires.
While most Americans had to write a big fat check to the government today to pay their taxes, over 100,000 federal workers are not paying their taxes. In 2021, the IRS found that almost 150,000 federal workers owe about $1.5 billion in unpaid taxes. Over 5,000 of them work at the IRS and owe $50 million in overdue taxes. Even though the IRS can fire its workers that are not paying their taxes, only 20 people have been terminated. That double standard is something Senator Joni Ernst, Senate Doge Caucus Chair, wants to stop. She's introducing several bills aimed at cleaning up the IRS. One bill would require IRS employees to be audited every year and fired if they don't pay their taxes. But while the IRS is not catching the tax cheats on their own payroll, they are busy arming their workforce. Ernst is also calling out 10 million taxpayer dollars the IRS has spent on guns and ammo, stockpiling 4,500 guns, 5 million rounds of ammo, even 15 machine guns.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Over 150,000 federal workers, including 5,000 IRS employees, owe $1.5 billion in back taxes. The truth is being exposed, and the swamp will be drained, and these ought to be the first employees to be let go as a result of this Schumer shutdown. I mean, how many of y'all think they should be locked up or demand payment immediately with interest? And folks, I'm truly interested in reading your comments, hearing your opinions, and learning more about you. Beatrix Kiddo tells me, the ad for Chapter helped me greatly. And this is wonderful and fantastic news. And as I would imagine, turning 65 is a big milestone. And the last thing anyone wants is to feel like they're being funneled into a one-size-fits-all trap. But here's the thing. Chapter is delivering real, unbiased help in a system that's notoriously confusing. Medicare's got over 24,000 plan options nationwide, and most folks, including our parents, if we're being honest, end up overpaying or undercovered without the right guidance. Think about it. Why do conservative voices like Dave Ramsey and his team swear by Chapter? Because they're all about smart money moves, no nonsense advice, and avoiding the gotchas that waste your hard-earned dollars. Ramsey Trusted doesn't hand out that badge lightly. They vetted Chapter top to bottom and only partner with outfits that put people first, not commissions from a handful of insurers. Chapter's advisors search every plan from every carrier with no strings attached to what they recommend. That's why they've got a near perfect 5-star rating across thousands of reviews, reviews.io, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, bbb.org. Folks rave about finally getting clear, personalized options that fit their doctors, meds, and budget without the high-pressure sales pitch. Conservative sites promote what works for their audience, reliable, transparent tools that empower you to make conservative choices, protect your wallet, skip the bureaucracy, and get coverage that actually delivers. No wonder thousands of seniors are saying Chapter turned a stressful maze into a straightforward win. If you're still on the fence as AEP rolls around, why not test the waters yourself? Their free advisors are licensed pros ready to break it down. No obligation, just facts. Give them a quick call at 270-467-2426 and see if it clicks for you. You've got this, and honestly, a little free intel could save you big, just like it has already for so many others who are subscribed and listen to my show all the time. So tell me, what's one question you'd want answered first? Again, folks, that number is 270-467-2426. It is fast, simple, easy, and it is free. You really have nothing to lose and so much to gain. But like I said earlier, folks, Chuck Schumer is finally finished. And there's only one final piece of this puzzle left to fall into place. The Democrats are weak and near collapse. There are just but a handful still alive and kicking out there who are capable of showing what leadership actually looks like. Creating unity regardless of the letter that comes before their name, even if you disagree with someone 9 times out of 10, acknowledge the one. And former President Bill Clinton seems to be the only Democrat out there left with a set of balls to congratulate President Trump on quite the accomplishment of a ceasefire and hostage release. But this is exactly why Chuck Schumer needs to worry. And just face it, his time is up. Democrats are done, and America wants more of what President Trump is delivering.
It is just such a hallmark of tyrannical, autocratic dictatorship societies that they use the prosecutorial department as a political weapon. It is a disgrace, and every American, I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, moderate, people should be forcefully rising up against this.
And after more of this MSNBC left-wing nonsense from Chucky, there's only one thing left to do. Arrest him. Checkmate. And so this will conclude this video, but I don't want to tell you what to think or how to feel. So fill up the comment section with your thoughts, reactions, and opinions on it all. What do you think are the Democrats' worst flaws and biggest mistakes? And what do you think should happen to Chuck Schumer? Should he be forced to step down and removed from Congress, or allowed to continue on, digging himself into an even deeper hole and being humiliated by his own party and lose any chance at re-election? Until next time, stay safe and keep smiling, because it's hard not to when you're a part of a team that just can't stop winning.